Superb. Thank you very much, Chris, and good morning, everybody. Thank you for everyone for staying on towards the end of the session today. Now, what we're going to talk about today is a Sage 200 portal for employees and also customer access as well. So that's what we're going to focus this session on today. Okay, then. So who am I? Who do I work for? So my name is Zoe Young. I work for Draycir, the authors of the solution we're going to see today. I've just put a very quick snapshot of our business on the screen there. I mean, some of you are probably already using some of our solutions, and some of those solutions you'll be able to see on the screen just now. Our relationship is with Smith Cooper is they're accredited not only to sell our solutions, but also to install, configure, and also support the solutions as well. So the one from our product group that we're going to talk about today is Spindle Self Serve. Now, just want you to think yourselves, just think about one document, sales invoices, the one thing that everybody on this call will be sending out. So how do you send out your sales invoices? Now, it used to be the case, we'd print them off and we'd put them in the post. Then, of course, the good old fax machine came out. Then we're emailing them. Now, some of you might be stopped at that point of emailing them. Some of you may still be printing them. But actually, there is a portal that now integrates with Sage 200. And when you're using Spindle Document Distribution, which is one of our other products, your customers can actually then enter that portal to actually see all the copies of their invoices, their credit notes, their statements, and anything else that you might have captured using Spindle as well. Okay, so the new normal, this seems to be a buzzword that I've heard for the best part of a year now, and it doesn't seem to be changing. And we've got lots of staff working from home. And whilst I'm just going through this slide here, I don't want you just to think about your own business, but it's also your customers as well, and how we've seen things slightly slow down as well. And for a lot of people, we were hoping we're all going to go back into the offices and everything was going to be back to normal, but unfortunately, that's still not happened for a lot of people. Now, sometimes the problem is your usual contact who has received the invoices isn't necessarily the person that's going to pay them. And that person that pays the invoices need to have visibility of them. Now, even though you might capture it electronically, your invoices at your end, this is all about now what your customer does. If they don't do that, how are they going to easily see visibility of it? Or what they generally do is they call you up or they email you and ask for a copy. But actually, if they had a portal, they could just log into it and see it. Your time is spent a lot of the time requesting copy invoices. 25 years ago, I was working in an accounts department. It was no different then as what it is now. People still ask for a copy invoice because it's easier to ask for it for them to find it themselves. The other thing we find as well is as we're sort of getting new generations coming in, they just like to use things like portals. They don't like to ask for help. They don't like to ask for copies and requests. So portals work really well for that generation as well. And we're used to it in our own personal lives as well. You know, there's nothing I do now in my personal life that doesn't involve a portal. Whether I want to have a look at my gas, my electric, my telephone, everything is a portal. So in business, it really should be no different. Now, it could be not to do with documents at all. It could be just time spent taking orders over the phone or taking orders from emails, checking stock, things like that. It might be simply, hi, I work for you, but you've not given me access to Sage, but I need to see the account information for my customers and I need to place orders. So this is another reason why you could have a portal and this all integrates into Sage. Now, for your customers, remember, they haven't got the invoices to hand to know what's outstanding. They need to place an order, but they can't get hold of their usual contact. How many times are you contacting customers at the time? And people are working all sorts of different hours at the moment, not necessarily your office hours, because they're homeschooling, etc. So actually, sometimes you can't get hold of whether it's at your end or whether it's you getting hold of your customer as well. Again, these are all reasons why a portal is really good. So I've sort of given you a few ideas of sort of things the portal can do, but let's have a look at it in its entirety. So it's your company, so it's your portal. In other words, you can brand it exactly how you need to brand it. It's hosted by you as well. All you need is your SSL certificate in order, if you want to expose it to the World Wide Web, of course, and then your customers can use it as well, but it's secured by you. So now I could have internal staff or my customers using this portal. They can all view, download their documents, whether that's invoices, credit notes, statements, or anything else you may have captured. They can view their order history. Now, that might be all you want them to do, which is fine. You get unlimited customers, unlimited internal users as well. So you can have as many as you want. So it's not the case that, okay, my customer called Abbey Retail, there's one person that works in the accounts department, that one person will get access. Actually, it could be 5 people from Abbey Retail that's going to have access. Because it's unlimited users, it doesn't matter. There's a promotions tool, which is almost like a pop-up screen. So I'm able to see anything that, I need to announce to my customers, whether that's I've got a sale on, or I'm holding an event, or my office hours, or we've got delays on deliveries. So like you do with a normal website, when you get this pop-up screen, you have the ability to do that as well. Whether it's your customers or whether it's your internal users, you can give them access to online ordering, which is linked to Sage 200. So as soon as that order is placed, it will then be on your sales order list in Sage. You might want them to view stock. If you do your own deliveries, there's also a proof of delivery module. That's the only thing that you would buy separate from Spindle Self Serve itself, which obviously isn't going to be applicable for everybody on the call today. Okay, so we're going to have a look at Spindle Self Serve, and I'm going to show you 3 examples of the users. Now, bear in mind, all 3 of these users are on the same Spindle Self Serve installation. As an admin user, though, I've given them different access. So, first, I'm going to show you Maureen. Now, Maureen's a customer. She works in accounts. She always has to copy invoices and her account information. So we'll have a look what I've given her access to. We're then going to have a look at Hayley. She's also a customer. However, she wants to order online. Then we're going to have a look at an internal user. And this is what Smith Cooper's staff, this is what they all use. You yourself might be using Smith Cooper's Spindle Self Serve. And if you're not, after today, you're probably saying, Chris, can I have access to that? I absolutely need it. So Zoe is a staff member. She needs access to all of her customer base, and she needs to place orders. But unfortunately, Zoe doesn't have a Sage license, so she can't go into Sage to do this. So this is just another way that she can access her customer information. Okay, so let's have a look at Spindle Self Serve. Now, how you expose this to your customers is entirely up to yourself. For most of our users, what they'll have on their website is almost like a customer portal button that they'll press, and it will come into this area just here. If I'm already registered to use it, fantastic. I will put in my credentials within here and log in. If I don't, then I can click to register, and then that will give me chance to be able to register to the portal. That would then come to my admin user. That admin user can then give me access to the screens I want them to see. All of this messaging here, all of the logos, all of the detail, the color in the background, etc., it is all configurable, even this text just here, which I've just added in. So you remember, I'm going to show you 3 different users. The first one was Maureen. Maureen just needs access to her account information. So Maureen's already gone through the registration stage. She's already been given access. She's verified her email. Now she can log in. So when Maureen logs in, you can see down at the side, we have got social media feeds. If you have them, brilliant, you can put them on. If not, these will just disappear. I have 3 modules that I can access: dashboard, invoices, and documents. These are simply tick boxes when Maureen registered to use the portal itself. So the dashboard, as you've probably already been looking, we can see the account information here, which is brilliant because when you think about it, When else does your customer see this information? How else would I see whether my account is live or not? You might have put me on hold. I'd have to keep ringing up to see whether my account is live yet. So that's one great thing. I can see my credit limit as well. Brilliant. That's really good. Because, of course, what this is going to hopefully do for me is ensure I keep within my credit limit. I've got my terms on here, my currency. Down at the bottom here, it will show me how many invoices I have overdue and also the value. I haven't got any invoices in terms and I have no invoices in query. Otherwise, it will display as it does here. I can click on these and it will take me straight to show me the drill down of what that's made up of. I also have 3 separate boxes here. First one showing my last 5 invoices and credit notes. I've also got my order history and also my last 5 orders. If I go into the invoice tab, this is, of course, going to show my invoices. Now, I've used this account. You can see how old it is as well. So the reason why I've showed you this, because I knew it was one account where I have never sent out an invoice using Spindle. So you can see there is no PDF on the invoice just here. So if you're not already using Spindle document distribution to send out your invoices, it's not that the portal won't work. Yes, it will work. You just won't see the PDF. What I did this morning is I sent out a statement so you can see actually, yes, anything I send out from Spindle automatically archives within here. Okay. If I have a look at the documents, this is basically every single document that I have ever archived for this particular customer. So if I ever needed to find something, maybe my purchase order reference, I can actually find it through here as well. Okay. So this is Maureen just needed account information. What we're going to look at now, remember, it's the same installation of Spindle Self Serve, but this time I'm going to log in as Hayley. And if you remember from my previous slide, Hayley also needed the ability to order. So let's go in as Hayley. First thing you'll notice, this is the promotions tool. Maureen didn't see this because I didn't want her to see it, so that's why there was nothing there. You can use this promotions module for anything and everything. You can even pre-program it. So if I knew my Christmas opening hours now, I could actually program that in to only display, let's say, for example, between the 30th of November and the 31st of December, for example, and it would only display for certain customers within that time or all my customers within that time. So any messaging at all we can put on there. I have to just press close in order to minimize that, but I can go back to it by clicking on here. So we're seeing exactly the same dashboard as we saw with Maureen's, exactly the same invoice. Because I've got some more data within this particular account, I'm going to show you a few more features as well. So you can clearly see here the PDFs have come through for my invoices. I've actually done one this morning. So we can actually click onto the invoice just to show you how that actually works. If you're using the Pay Now button with Spindle, then actually I could pay through here. Now we integrate the the Pay Now button with SagePay, WellPay, and also Stripe as well. So if I did want to make payment, because I initially had that on, as you can see, I go straight through to SagePay and make payment. So not only are you making your life easy for your customer, displaying the actual PDF, they can also pay here as well. Same applies if on that statement I had the Pay Now button, I could just pay my statement using that Pay Now button as well. Okay. So what you'll also see when I do make payment, you will notice all the payment receipts are on here, and also what I've allocated invoices, they're also available to see within here as well. So no more calls to say, have you received my payment? What have you allocated, etc., etc. It is very visible on here. If I want to make a back payment, maybe, I can just simply tick the box at the top here, and this will just literally show me everything's outstanding. So now I can make that back payment knowing I've picked everything up, and also I've got a copy of all the invoices within there as well. Going on to the order history section. So we didn't see this in the last example, I could have showed the order history though. There would have been no harm in me showing that. If I just click onto one of my previous orders, which is one I did earlier, you will see this will give me all of the line item information and any other type of documents. So if you're archiving using Spindle Document Capture, maybe for your purchase orders, sales orders acknowledgements when you're sending them out using Spindle, maybe you're archiving proof of deliveries. These are all examples that people will regularly capture. You can see these are now all available to my customer. So no more can I have a copy of the proof of delivery, or which one of my customer purchase orders is this? I have it here because I've already captured it. We can also see there's a messaging tab just here. This is if I want to make an inquiry. You'll have noticed there was a blue envelope on the invoice screen as well. I can do a similar inquiry in that way. This is to make the customer's life easier. If I had a query on this, I could actually say, where is my delivery, for an example? Somebody at your end would then receive an email to say that Hayley Bassett Abbey Retail wants to know where her delivery is. So I could log in as an internal user, which I'm going to do later on, and reply just to let them know. So everything's within the portal. The great thing about this, whoever has access to this Abbey Retail Spindle Self Serve portal will see all the messages. So if it was a query on an actual invoice, everyone can see it. Full visibility. And remember, it might not be just your business working from home remotely, it's your customers as well. So actually, any chance we get to share information, whether that's queries or whether that's documentation, is really key now more than ever before. To be fair, even if I was back in the office now, I don't know what the person next to me is doing or the person behind me, but actually within a portal, I can see all of that information. So this is all looking at things that has happened in the past, if you like. But what I can also do is now look at stock and also placing orders. And remember, I'm a customer doing this. So it's not an e-commerce website. This is people that have credit accounts with you, and you have given them the authority in order to look at the screens we're looking at now. There's 4 very easy ways I can actually place an order. You want customers to place order with ease, and that's why there's 4 different ways, no matter how they want to do that. So product groups, again, all within the setup, I can display what I want this user to do, or as a globally, what I want everyone to do. So if I wanted to take any product groups out, I can do. If I now want to order, I want to order a new cabinet, great. I can see images within here as well. We can have multiple images, dimension, comment notes, things like that within there. Any documentation that needs to go with it, again, I've used Spindle Document Capture to actually capture a certificate of conformity, and I see it here. It might be a manual, it might be a recipe card, it could be anything at all. If you need your customer to have visibility of it, fantastic, that's exactly how we can do it. I have no images, no documents, I just don't see those columns. Talking of columns, you can see, even as a customer, I can see your free stock and I can see my base price as the customer. This is coming from Sage. These are 2 columns that I can actually hide if you don't want them to see them. So it might be I just want them to see stock, not their price, or vice versa, or neither. So as you can see, I've got my order button here. I could have just, I could have searched for an item either on a SKU or here as a name, and I can press order, and this is where I can order. I can change the quantity, press OK, and that puts it into my shopping basket just here. Before we look in the shopping basket, let me give you another idea. So it might be I just always order the same every single time. And if that's the case, I can actually go back to my order details page and you'll see I've got an order again here. So by simply pressing on order again, that would just put that that order in there. It will add it to whatever else it is in my shopping basket. That's the second way of ordering. The third way of ordering is simply searching within this screen just here. If I've given visibility of stock, I'm seeing it there. If I don't, I don't see it. So I can click on here. I can still change the quantities within here and press add. Price breaks, if you're using those in Sage, it will bring them through as well. So hopefully this is going to encourage me to change my quantity of 3 to 5 because I know my unit price has dropped. It also has the ability to do that. So that was the third way of ordering. The fourth way is simply by doing a bulk upload. It's a very simple spreadsheet. I can actually download the spreadsheet from here, and then I can just pick it up. Once I put that Excel spreadsheet in, it will then load the stock here. So 4 really easy ways of ordering it. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's user preference. So as with any order, I now have my next stages to go to. I can either click here or I can click next. Again, it makes it easy for the user. The ship to address is coming from Sage. You'll have the list of all of them within here, or I can just put in a new one if I wanted to. The date that is required, we can put that in if we want to. Any special instructions we can write in there as well. Let's go to the next stage. Next stage is me putting in my let's make it topical. And that's my PO reference. Next, of course, is the confirmation stage. As soon as I press place order, I actually have 2 different things I can do here. I can either have my setup so it automatically goes straight through to Sage as a live order, or I can put it on hold. That decision is entirely up to yourselves. Now, the time it's using now is actually going to your live Sage data and actually creating the order. The order number I'm seeing on the screen now, 5135, is actually my Sage order number. The messaging I have within this box here is entirely up to you. It's completely configurable. So if I go into Sage just to prove it's there, let's just refresh this screen. 5135, there's my order. Mine's gone straight through as a live order, but there it is. And there's my PO number, my requested by date, etc. Really, really easy. I know a lot of users of Spindle Self Serve that actually use that order functionality just so they can do order again as an internal user. So if I log in now as an internal user, what we'll be able to see is I've restricted this user, even though they're internal, just giving them access to the accounts that I want them to see. These are the accounts they look after. I do have a configuration to show them all of the accounts, and that's absolutely fine. No matter who I click on just here, everything's relevant then for that particular account. It's only when I change it, and I can change it in most of these tabs along the top as well. So if you remember, I had that inquiry and wanted to know where the order was. If I wanted to, I did it on the previous one there. If I wanted to reply to it, it's on its way. And this is how I can reply, just so you can see. There you go. And it says who the messages come from. They will have an email trigger to say that it's been answered and what that answer is as well. So really nice and easy to make inquiries within here as well. You can see my order is already sitting in here. There it is. That's the order I've just placed as the customer. I can see it in here. And even if as the customer or hear me as the internal user, I can see that that's in progress. Of course, as you can see, once it's been dispatched, it will then go on to the dispatch stage. If it got returned, I can see a returned one as well. If it was on hold, it will tell me it's on hold. Full visibility. I do have slightly different functionality as a internal user on the place order one, and that's because I can do free text lines. I can amend the prices if you're going to allow me to do that as well. And I've also got the promise by date has now appeared within there. I can also change descriptions of stock items and things like that. So there are a few benefits of actually being an internal user as well. It's not all exactly the same. Now, how do you get your customers to use this, of course? Well, that's always the burning question everyone asks me. So just to give you a few examples here. So if any of you are using Spindle to send out things like your statements and you're doing the copy invoices, you'll know if those invoices go over a certain number, Outlook's going to block it from going either out from yourselves or in at the other end as well. So actually, this would replace that altogether. There's no reason for you to send that statement with the attached invoices. We can get rid of the attached invoices on here. Just send the statement with a note to say, log into the portal. There's a hyperlink there. Log into the portal in order to see the invoices. Similarly, if you're sending out your invoices with things like proof of delivery notes, because you won't need to do that anymore. In fact, do you even need to send the attachments? The answer is no. So actually, if you really, really wanted to force your customers down the line of using the portal, which a lot of people do, especially when you want to use them for ordering, there is a setup in Spindle to say, still produce the invoice statement, whatever it is, still produce it, still archive it, but send out the email without the attachment. So I know a number of people that do it. They don't do it for all their customers. There'll be a small group of customers. And sometimes it's because there's lots of invoices. They don't want all these attachments coming into their inbox at the customer end. So that's just another way of doing it. Of course, using Spindle document distribution, again, you can configure the content of the email to be exactly what you want it to be. Things like hyperlinks and things like that make it really easy to introduce them into for the portal as well. So that's just to give you a few ideas of, I like to call them onboarding ideas of the things to get your customers to actually use the portal. Remember, what you've seen today from, looking at your account information, Smith Cooper has a portal for you already. So if you're not already using it, then, ask Chris or his team and they'll be able to give you access to it, because it just makes your life so much easier. It really, really, really does. Now, I'm just looking at time. I think I'm nearly out of time there.
Well, I've got Zoe, I've got a couple of questions for you if you've got 2 seconds. So, yeah, perfect. I mean, you've stole my thunder there. That was going to be my exact first comment,
Sorry.
Zoe. No, brilliant. No, it's perfect. It was exactly what I was going to say. We use this, guys, and there is, if anybody doesn't know how to access it, email me or your account manager, and we'll send you the link. There's also a really good video that Craig did on YouTube, which tells you how to create the account and how to set yourself up and get going. So if you can put up with him for 2 minutes, he's done a really good video there to tell you how to set up. But yeah, if you want a demo of this and you want to have a play, sign up. Anybody who's come and joined us in the last year or so would have got an onboarding email with all the details as well. So yeah, just that's the best way to do it. But yeah, sorry, Zoe, a couple of quick questions.
Yeah.
So first question was, is this purely for customers and not suppliers? I think that is the case at the moment, isn't it? It's just a customer and internal user tool.
It is, yes. So it's if we just say, it's only looking at the sales ledger side of things. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Someone's asked, is there I know you guys sell in multiple countries. Somebody's asked, is there a language setting in the back of self-serve?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So the answer, unfortunately, is no, but you can. So these sort of labels just here, they are all in English. There's not a setting to sort of change the language as such. So everything else is obviously coming from whatever you've got set up in Sage. But yeah, it's all in English, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, not a problem. Does this module respect the Sage? Well, does it take into account customer discount groups? So I can answer that one. So
yes,
yeah,
does,
all the prices the customer gets absolutely respects whatever you've got set up in Sage Pricebook, no matter how complex that is, with it being discount groups or price lists or whatever. Yeah, this one I wasn't sure on, Zoe. Is the Draycir ordering system connect? Does it incorporate any functionality for alternate or cross-sell products as per Sage 200?
Yes, if you got it set up in Sage, then yes, it will do. It will do like a suggestion on it. So very similar to what Jonathan presented at the beginning there. If you've got that set up in Sage, then yes, it will bring through on here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Can a customer select a delivery method, i.e. pre-10 a.m. delivery or collection? Is there any facility for them to put?
So they can put comments in there. So the comment field, if you think about ordering within Sage, you've got the comment line. They have exactly that. Or there is an area when you go into the second screen where it said any delivery notes. So when we're going to the delivery here, you can put it in there. So you can either put a delivery instruction within here, or if you really wanted to, you can have it on a comment line. You can bring through a comment line here. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, this one I know the answer to. So somebody's asked, can self-serve be tweaked so that the customer can just see invoices and nothing else? So yeah, I can answer that one.
Yep.
So there's a setting in the background. Statements, sales orders, and invoices are all options, and you can tick or untick those.
That's right.
To suit either across the piece or per customer. Is there a way of placing an order which gets held until payment has been received before being posted to Sage? That's an interesting
Yeah,
one.
so it's a global setting. So remember, this isn't e-commerce, so there's no payment structure behind it at all. Now, if you know that the majority of your customers, that is the scenario, then what I would suggest is that your global setting for any orders coming from Spindle Self Serve are on hold, and then you can action them accordingly. But because it's not an e-commerce website, it doesn't have that functionality. But I would switch on the on hold functionality so it doesn't go straight to live, and that will overcome that for you.
Excellent.